Today we're going to talk about extended use scenarios. And the purpose for extended use scenarios is so that we can create sequence diagrams. Just in the same way that we created use scenarios in order to create wireframes, we are going to create extended use scenarios to create sequence diagrams. This is a sequence diagram. These are sequence diagrams, all of these for the product backlog of the hotel booking system. And so we'll get into how these work after we get done creating extended use scenarios. But until then, let's go ahead and jump over to my slide here. So welcome to the section on extended use scenarios. Our objectives in an extended use scenario are to write steps that describe how the interface gets the data it needs to display to the user interface. So every interaction that the user has with the system is typically trying to get data from the system. So we need to decide how the user interface is going to go about getting that data after the user makes a request for it. So we're going to write interactions between the interface and other classes. We will write interactions between multiple classes, and we will create new objects, and we will update the class diagram as needed. Writing interactions between the interface and other classes. So what is the interface? Well, in this project, we're going to call it the user interface. So this is the place that the user will engage with the system. It is the place where the user says, hey, system, I want this. So we need to be able to write the steps that describe how the user interface gets the data it needs to display to the user. Then we're going to write interactions between multiple classes. So what we mean by this is we're going to demonstrate how interactions work with multiple classes. We're going to be able to write interactions one after the other, and be able to write nested interactions. And what I mean by that is there are situations when we are trying to get certain data or update data where we're going to have one class call another class in order to make something happen within the system. And we want to track that path. And so we're going to do that by writing the interactions between classes. We're going to create new objects. So this means that we are going to write the system interaction steps to create new objects. This will include calling a constructor and then returning the object so that it can be stored in the container. So you remember in your object-oriented programming class creating new objects using a constructor. Well, we are going to use that same concept here, and we're going to create new objects and add them to containers. And you'll see what I mean in a minute here. And finally, sometimes as we are going through this process, as is in every iteration process, we find things that we missed when we were putting data into our class diagram. So this might cause us to have to update our class diagram in order to show or reflect the changes that we've made within our system as we created our extended use scenarios.